In a society built around a grand Cybertronian taxonomy that is obsessively revised and reinterpreted, the one thing that never changes, the one thing that must never change, is the system itself. Every revision, every reinterpretation takes place within a rigid framework of social stratification. Nothing must threaten the Functionists' core philosophy, utility as an organizing principle. If you could step outside the system, you would recognize it for what it is, a prison. Worse than that, it is a prison full of willing prisoners. And not only are you a prisoner within the system, you are a prisoner within your own body. Whether you were born or made, forged or constructed cold, you are trapped inside your alt mode. The Functionists built the lock, and the Senate holds the key. But most of us are unaware that we're locked in. Make no mistake, your life is mapped out in front of you, as clear as the grooves in your transformation cog. You can no more choose to change jobs than Cybertron can choose to stop orbiting the sun. You can no more acquire a skill unrelated to your vocation than the sky can acquire a conscience. In denying you the ability to reject your alt mode, in preventing you from pursuing a path of your own choosing, both the Senate and the Council say they are acting in your best interests. They have a responsibility, they say, to ensure that you make best use of your God-given form. If you turn into a drill, it is because Primus knows that Cybertron needs drills. To deviate from your function is to risk invoking the wrath of God and bringing the world to its knees. In truth, it is about control. A multi-skilled population is an empowered population. And if you reject your alt mode, what next? Would you reject your class? Would you reject your government? The Functionists don't rely solely on theology when rebuting arguments for change. Working outside of your alt mode would be confusing, they say. Imagine being treated by a medic with tank treads. You would question their competence, and they extend the same question to the miners. Would you feel comfortable working alongside a microscope? And to the military, would you put your life in the hands of a soldier who turns into a data slug? And it is true, people would be unnerved at first, but the Functionists, enabled by the Senate, have created the conditions that have given rise to this culture of suspicion, and they have done so deliberately. Because it reinforces the status quo. Moreover, it fosters division, and division is another means by which they can control the population. The more walls you can put up between people, the easier it is to contain them, and the stronger the structural integrity of the system. And that is why when you see a stranger, you don't think, what are they like? You think, what are they for? You don't think, what are their hopes, dreams, aspirations? You think, what do they do? And then you think, where are they positioned in relation to me? Do they sit above, alongside, or below? Are they better than me? Or I them? Even if you believe in grand Cybertronian taxonomy, ask yourself this. Who decides on that order? And then, why should there be an order? And that is the question that the Senate and the Functionists fear the most, because they know that their world would collapse if people arrived at the answer. Why should there be an order? I'll tell you. There shouldn't be. Be happy in your work, they say, for it enriches you. Be grateful for your alt mode, for it defines you. Be thankful for the system, it protects you. Be mindful of your betters, they think for you. I say, enough. Reject your work, reject your alt mode, resist the system, and your betters? You have none. We're all equal, and we have a right to decide how to live our lives. Wait. Coming.
Keep writing. Ignore me.
I am ignoring you.
Megatron, wait! Someone your size needs all their energon rations. You can't keep topping me up. If I slip away, so be it. You'll manage without a proofreader.
You sell yourself short, as always.
Very well. Your proofreader and your distributor.
Terminus.
Now, you know the rules. I help your words find their way home, and you never ask how I do it. You'd think less of me.
That's not what I was... Look, you need proper help. These injuries needn't be fatal.
I know. But new legs, new fuel pump, new spark casing. They cost, and our leaders clearly don't think I'm worth the investment. You said it yourself, and after the Ark, every member of the manual class is one accident away from redundancy, and redundancy is one step away from death.
If you can save someone, you should save them. You cannot put a price on life.
The Functionists put a price on everything. And the moment you start to take more than you give, the moment you become a burden, they turn their back.
I will decide what I am worth, not the Functionists, or the Senate, or anyone else who presumes to sit above me.
I know, Megatron. I know. But the Functionists are strong, and the Senate may prove stronger still. And it is the strong, not the weak, who shape the world. And that is why, if words aren't enough to change the system, you may have to force the issue.
Terminus.
You have two weapons at your disposal. Your brain and your fists. You must be prepared to use both.
Me personally? No. We discussed this. My job is
to articulate the injustice at the heart of this system in the hope that others might be inspired, as one, to push against it. You've told me enough.
I'm not a figurehead.
But you may yet become one. And that's why you need to listen to me. Never back down. Never compromise. Never bend. The moment you try to accommodate a rival set of interests, you subordinate your own. When your enemies realize they can't corrupt you, or contain you, or appease you, that's when you'll have their attention, because that's when you become a genuine threat.
You're focusing too much on the individual. Lasting power rests with the collective.
Of course, but the masses need someone to rally behind. someone to take point. And even after that, even after you've forced the world to be fair, the top table is set for one. You must be prepared to sit alone.
There's something in your tone. Has something happened?
I was visited earlier today.
I see.
They suspect not Rolt, he lacks the wit, but the others, the ones with their sights on reclassification, they think you're still writing. Your words are appearing all over Cybertron, in shipyards and distilleries, fix-it pits and relinquishment clinics. You are being deceived.
Did they threaten you?
They asked about the accident. They said they were sorry to hear that my rations had been reallocated. Oh, and they hoped I'd be around for a long time yet.
Perhaps I should stop writing. Just for a while.
On the contrary, write more. Write quickly. Write while you still can. Pin your thoughts to the page like wraith flies, so that others may study the patterns on their wings. The people are hungry, Megatron. You need to keep feeding them.
But if I don't stop, they'll... Huh?